Morning. Oh, what's that just fallen off? Heard a crash. I don't know what's just fallen over. Something has. How are we? Morning. No pressure, Gloria. I've got a list. It's all in my head. Whether it comes out of my head is beside the point. These stamps are so huge they don't fit in my frame. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm Lorna. I'm a bit tired. Even though I've had a weekend off, I'm a bit tired. There's a lot going on. So we'll make a start so we can kind of maybe fit lots and lots in within the hour. So yeah, August is going to be pretty busy for me, certainly up until the 21st, with a whole stack of shows. And the first one is tomorrow with IndigoBlu, and it's my first IndigoBlu show this year, which is rather exciting. If you're a fan of IndigoBlu, then you will have seen these stamps before, because Kay had them on during, I think it was at the beginning of the Christmas event, or during the Christmas event, on the craft store last month. So they were so popular that we thought we'd bring them back again, and Kay's asked me to do them. So they are, as you can see, they're by Janine Gerard Shaw, who's one of the artists that Kay uses. And there are, on the show, there's 2 A5 stamp sets, your magical Christmas tree and your foliage wreath. And these are just absolutely stunning stamps, and you can see that Kay has actually coloured in the packaging for you, so it gives you an idea of where bits and pieces are. Lots of worker stamps in there. I mean, this one, I absolutely love this one down here with all the different words. That's a really good background stamp. But this border here is huge. I mean, A5 is huge. You can see I've already pulled some stamps off to use. Lovely, lovely stamp. And this one, I like this one too, this funky tree. And there are some other stamps in the series where you can put a star on the top if you want to. So that's that one, and this one here also has happy birthday, as you can see, but I butchered mine because I wanted to, and you can mask it off so it doesn't actually stamp the happy birthday in there if you don't want it to, but I've actually butchered mine so I can use my happy birthday completely separately if I want to. It's quite easy to do. You just use some strong scissors, but don't cut too close to the line and you won't actually destroy anything. This lovely border, this swag border, is just absolutely stunning. The detail that you get in these stamps is amazing, and I will just stamp and emboss one out for you so you can see how amazing they are. So those are the 2 A5 sets, and then we've got 2 A6 sets. Got this one, Warm Winter Wishes, some really useful phrases in there, and obviously those phrases are going to fit inside the octagon. Is it an octagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's a hexagon. Into the hexagon. And you've also got this really funky tree here, and you can see you've got lots of different stars. So the stars can go on top of there, they can be your backgrounds, and they will go on top of the other tree as well. Then you've got Happy Holidays, which has these beautiful ivy kind of swag things. Don't know what you call them. Little stems, and a beautiful pine, and then lots more sentiments as well. And you can see that they're all on red rubber. They're all mounted onto cling for you. This is how they come. They come in just a cellophane bag, and they're ready to go straight away for you to use. I like that. I like being able to just go straight away. Kay has also put on the show a couple of stamps from last year. So you've got the gingerbread house, which again has got lovely detail on it, and also the gingerbread nutcracker. So those are on there, and there's loads and loads and loads of stencils too. Loads and loads of stencils. Really useful stencils, and we will try and use one of those. I seem to have two of those. We try and use some of those in this demo. So what I thought we'd do straight away, obviously there's luscious on the show, there's paints on the show, there's loads of stuff on the show. I thought what we'd do straight away is actually stamp this huge Christmas tree. What did I do with my card? Oh, just going to stamp and emboss it, because if you don't like colouring, you don't necessarily want to colour in. So we're just going to stamp and emboss it, and then you can see the wonderful detail and how easy it is to actually create something without colouring it in. Now I don't have any IndigoBlu embossing powders except the clear, which I love. So we're going to use some of my Sentimentally Yours embossing powder instead. I know Kay won't mind. And I'm actually using Pink Frog card because I was given a load of it when I did some of Kay's shows last year. So I thought it'd be rude not to use it. And I know Kay likes this card as well. So this is what we're using. We're using the Super Smooth, which is a great stamping card. I'm just dusting it with an anti-static bag. Give it a good old dust. This is my Sentimentally Yours one. And we're using Versamark. Oh, I need a piece of paper as well. Honestly, I've got prep for 3 shows just hanging around. The only reason why there isn't more is because I haven't got the other product for the other shows I'm doing yet. But yes, lots and lots of shows this month. I have to remember to take the right product on the right day to the studio. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. I've got lists about my lists. I've got stuff everywhere. So I'm giving it a real good inking because I like to ink within an inch of its life. And I don't know if you can see, there's a SY up here. This is a new acrylic block from Sentimentally Yours, which is launching next Thursday on the craft store. So it's an A5 acrylic block. So watch out for these next week. That's all right, Chrissy. It was only on my page, and then I think it's been shared on the IndigoBlu page because it's not a Sentimentally Yours one, obviously. So I'm just on an A5 piece of card here, and I think my block is virtually straight with the stamp. So we're going to go just down here and then give it a good old press. You don't need to press quite as hard with a mounted rubber stamp as you do necessarily with a clear stamp, unless of course you've got a stamping mat underneath. But I'm a bit paranoid about getting the image absolutely perfect, so I'm going to just take my time working around the stamp. Try not to go too hard on the edges, although they are actually scrolled really nicely. And then we're just going to come straight up. I know you can't see it. So Christy, if you missed it, yeah, this is the A5 acrylic block from Sentimentally Yours that's coming out next week. It's exciting. Lots of newness all over the place. Pure gold, that's what we're going for on this one. I think I need some more pure gold. I must have some more pure gold lying around somewhere. Pure silver. Don't faff, Julia, just get it on your stamp. You don't need much because it's just going to find its way down the stamp. And you can see, even without embossing it yet, the detail that there is on this stamp. It's just absolutely stunning. And the more you look at it, the more you see. Just absolutely tremendous. I think I might have missed a tiny bit, but I'm not going to point it out to you because that's all you'll see. I can see it. You don't need to. I think while we're at it, because we can, we'll stamp a sentiment as well. And I've got the sentiment that comes from the same. Remember, we're dealing with this one, the Magical Christmas Tree. I've got a sentiment that I've pulled up there as well, and it says, may your holidays sparkle with joy and laughter. So we stamp this at the same time. So when we've embossed this, all you need to do is trim it down, mat it and layer it, shove it on a card. How quick is that? So you can really do lots and lots of batch making with this. Ink it even within an inch of its life. Again, that's me. That's how I roll. Okay, give it a gentle press because it's a sentiment. Let's try and get it all, Julia. Straight up. Hi, Rachel. And just a bit of gold on there. Win-win. Absolutely gorgeous. And they're very different, these designs. I mean, Janine does kind of have a very distinct style to her designs, which I think is lovely to see, something just totally unique. So let's heat set that. So come on, noise, here we go. Warm my heat gun up first. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Hi, Maggie. So much detail in this stamp. Let's see if you can see it. So, remember, I'm a top girl. Hi, Maureen. Happy birthday for earlier this week, last week. So we're just following the stamp round with gold and with silver. It's very easy to see where you've been. So you just follow it round the design. As it melts, you just move on to the next area. That way you don't overcook it. If you overcook it, it goes flat and matte, and it's just such a shame. But then if that happens, you can just cut areas out and just decolorise them onto another one. So it's not wasted. So obviously now, if you wanted to, we could colour in with Luscious, or like I say, just cut it down, matte and layer it, perhaps with some of the new gold card from Sentimentally Yours, and that would look lovely. I did earlier do a silver one as well. This is a silver one with the pure silver. So they're really easy to use, but don't get hung up about actually having to colour them in if you don't want to. So I just wanted to show you that so you could see the beautiful detail of this stamp. I can see the bit I've missed on there. I'm going to show you the silver one instead because I didn't miss that one. But it just is absolutely beautiful. So that's your magical Christmas tree. I'm going to struggle remembering the names of these. So I wanted to show you that. Then we are going to do, let's see, should we do that one or should we do that one? Right, okay, so we've done that. Let's do something else. Let's put my stamps back. And you could, of course, actually, let's bring that in again. You could, if you wanted to, make a bigger card. You could give yourself a border and pop a border around with that at the top. If you wanted to, that would be quite nice. See that? That stamp is absolutely gorgeous, Jan. It really is. I just love the fact that, you know, you don't have to colour it in if you don't want to. Because it is, you know, it's not a quick colour in because there's so much detail in them. But if you want to, obviously you've got a bit of mindful time coming up there that you can actually do with that. Right, so let's move down to some of the smaller stamps. And let's do, where's the funky one? Should we do that one or that one? Let's do this one. This is on the same set. This is our kind of funky tree. And let's grab some more card. I don't know who's made this card. I had a bit of a sort out the other day and found lots and lots of card. So I'm just using up bits here and there. So I can use a little slither bit. Can you use a slither bit? Yeah, let's maybe not. I'm trying to be frugal here, and it really isn't working. That might fit actually. Right, so let's go do a little bit more stamping and embossing, but do one of the smaller ones. I nearly put this on the stamp then. That would have been a bit of a disaster. So we look at the difference between black and white. And we're bringing some luscious as well. Hi Alice, you shouting in capitals? We can see you. So again, we're going Versamark. And again, inking it with an inch of its life because I'm paranoid. And I have to do it on sideways when I'm using a block. I'm just going to pop that there. I think I'm a bit low actually with my camera today. I was a bit carried away doing some other prep and I thought, it's nearly time. Let's get that one on there. Put the embossing powder on that in a second. You have got a few, well, a minute or two before you need to throw your embossing powder on. Let's see if I can fit this on or if I've been too frugal. Oh yes, this looks like it was perfectly judged. Okay, let's throw my powder on. What should we go for? Let's go for gold again. Gold. I'm sure I must have another gold somewhere. This one's nearly empty. It's probably on my desk, on my very tidy desk, which isn't tidy at all. Where did I stamp that one? Oh, there it is. Oh, no powder in the pot. There we go. So this is quite a funky design, and it's got almost like a totally different personality to it, to the big tree, although it's on the same set, which is really good because it means that if you're making cards for different people or doing journal pages or whatever, you can have a really different feel to it. That was good putting that on top of that one, wasn't it? Let's give that a blast. Oh yeah, I think we've all done that. We've all anti-staticked our stamp. Especially when my brain's thinking of something else. I do like to emboss on black card. It's just so special. Oop. Stop. And these are very easy to cut out as well if you want to do a little bit of fussy cutting. Easy peasy. So let's go to our luscious. So we've got, I think Kay's put all the luscious on there, but she sent me the new ones, which I was really pleased about because I haven't got them. So this is from the Spring in Your Step set. There's no embossing powder. I've put it in my tub of things to take with me. So I have got another one. Win-win. At least I'm not going to forget it, seeing as I've already put it on in my thing. So there's 5. I think Kay's resorted all of the luscious powders into sets of 5 now. So imagine all the other sets are on the show too. So these are all the ones that I've been concentrating on. And on Kay's website, she sells this. This is I think it's an alcohol ink palette, but it's a really good way to pop your watercolours or your luscious when you're using them, because you can just leave the lid open. Once they set down, then you can pop the lid on, and if you use a alcohol marker on the outside, you've got you know which one's which. Don't do what I do, which originally I didn't bother doing that, and I hadn't got a clue what was what. Right, let's organise where I want to put things. So you can see I've already got some of mine in here. So if we want to just regenerate them, you can just give them a, and it's these 5 here that are the ones from the spring in your step. So you just mist it with water and that'll regenerate them. I like a bit of mermaid tresses as well. Some of them are duotoned, but all the ones that are in the spring in the step seem to be just single toned. So if you want to do a little bit of painting, so single tone, what single tone means is that they look the same on white and on black card. So this is your green apple, I think it's called, yeah, green apple. So again, I've gone with a wet brush. You can see I've activated it and it's become a watercolour again for me. And you can just go in and paint onto your project really easily. And when it dries, you've got the shimmer from the mica powder that is in your luscious. I mean, they're highly pigmented, so that means that when they're on white card, you get a really strong piece, really strong coloured in area. I'm not going to colour in loads, I'm only going to colour in one section, a little section here. So if we take the green apple and then put it on the white, it's a good comparison thing to do. I've always in the past done swatches, you know, when I've had sets of mica powders, and because of the fact that some of them have a duotone, and so I've known what they what they look like on black. Because what you don't want to do is, say you're colouring foliage in, so you wanted a green, and then you go to do it in black onto black card, and you find that it's pink or it's blue or something like that, and that's going to be a bit disappointing. So it's always a good idea to do a swatch. But like I say, these are the single tones, so you can see that on your white you've got green, and on your black you've got green as well. You haven't seen my other one, Lorna. My other one is a bit of a mess. So, but there's loads and loads and loads of techniques that you can do with luscious powders. You can mix them with the slap it on, which we'll do a bit later, hopefully, if we get around to it. So I mean, if I want to do a swag, and if I want to do the swag in this colour, which is your Rosy Glow, is it called? No, yes, Rosy Glow. God, 2 out of 2. Get me. So you can do your swag in a different colour, and you know, because it's a single tone, you know that the colour that's in the palette is the colour that you're going to get on your black card. But I mean, there are some, like I say, there's some that have interference in them. So if we'll go on to another one in a minute, because I'm obviously not going to use this. This is just my play one, or it might be, or it might not be. I might finish it later, or I might not, because I haven't got much time. Right, so we do that one. So let's go to one that's got a duotone, so you actually know what I'm talking about. So I think this one's here. This one is Olive Grove. So if we look at Olive Grove here, it's a lovely olive colour, and that is a bit wishy-washy. And here, it's more of a rosy olive, or rose gold. It's less green here, it's more of a gold. And we go to this one. I think this is one as well. It's hard to remember because it's been a while since I've used my luscious. Actually, I think the lavender is just lavender. Let's have a look. Then you've also got, which one is it? Magic Sparkle. So Magic Sparkle is this one here. Way off you, yeah. That one you can add to any of your luscious, and it makes it more sparkly, which is quite cool. This is your lavender, and hopefully you can see that it's blue on black, and it's lavender on white. Yeah, you can see the difference on the screen, can't you? Yeah. So there's a few like that. I'm not sure if it says on the IndigoBlu website which ones are duotoned or not, but it might be. So it's a really good thing to do a palette for yourself, because if I went in with, I don't know, if I went in with that olive green and wanted to colour this in with green and found out that it was gold, that I'm not going to see a difference, am I, with that? Anyway, so you carry on and cut that, you know, cut it out, and you can make yourself a card really, really quickly. Also, you've got that little star that you can stick on the top from one of the other sets as well. So that, I think that's enough of that. Is that all right? Hopefully. So yes, do, yeah. Right, and I've put that to one side, left it open for them to set down so that it doesn't destroy them at all. And also, if they're wet when you put the lid on, if you go and kind of transport them somewhere, they could merge and make a bit of a mess of your palette. So you don't want to do that. So what should we do next? Oh, yeah, we'll do that. Right. Flitter glue. Let's go for that. And we will go for, let's go for this set here. This is your Happy Holidays set. Another piece of card. And let's go for black. I know I'm on black a lot, but you can do these on white. It just has more pow when you do this on black. And we're going to go for one of these ivy pieces. Just pop it on a block. And we're going for our Flitter glue. Here's all my bits. That. I am organised, honestly. I really am. There we go. So, in the Flitter Glue kit, I believe what you get is you get a Flitter Glue. And I think it's this one, which is Chariots of Fire, that's on the show. I think you get a palette knife. I'm not too sure if you still do. You get a piece of fat foam. You don't get the bag, but you do get a piece of fat foam, and you get a scoochie, so a kind of rough piece of foam as well. So that's what's in your kit. Now, I keep mine in a bag because I can use it and use it and use it, but you can see it sticks to the bag, because once Flitter glue is dry, it remains sticky. So you don't want the cat walking across it, you know, and flicking his back leg because he's got a piece of sponge stuck to him or something like that. So just put it in a let it dry, and as soon as it's dry, then pop it in a bag, and it's not going to interfere with anything at all. So let's pop some. So when you get this, obviously when it's not sticky when you first get it, and for every single use you'll need to add some of your Flitter glue. The Flitter glue has got one of these twist pieces, tops to it. The Grab and Go has got it, which is the glue, has got it on it as well. And we give it a bit of a squeeze and pop some on there, and then close the nozzle and wipe the top so that you don't get it all bunged up. And you just use your scraper. It is actually easier when the fat foam is new, because when the fat foam is new, this sinks down into the foam, whereas you can see this doesn't want to, because it's already got a bit of a coating on it. So I'll probably put far too much on there, because it's just sitting there. You'll notice the difference, but I don't like throwing my foam away when I can still use it. Let's wipe that off. And I'll put that in over. Right. So the key with this is to do it quickly, but don't be scared. Don't be scared. So I've got it on my fingers now. That's annoying. Lots of tapping over your stamp, and you can have a session. You best stop having a session and then clean your stamp at the end. Lots of tap, 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 and then no more than 3 seconds on your background or wherever you're doing. So let's do a background. So 1, 2, 3, and off. Hopefully you heard that. That's wet. You can see it. It's wet. So you can't put anything on it until it's completely clear. So you can keep on applying. 1, 2, 3, off. I always count, because if I don't count, I forget. You can keep on applying it as much as you want to. There's no urgency to wash it until you've finished. 2, 3, off. And once you've finished, then I just pop mine in a bucket of water, and then I'll go and clean it when I'm ready. So we go here. 1, 2, 3. I'm getting very sticky. It's because my fat foam's old. I might treat myself to a new piece of fat foam for the show. Steady on. 1, 2, 3. And then we do just a little bit in the corner, because I think we've got space in the corner for one. And this is going to make a nice background. Okay. I'm going to put that into some water. I'm going to dip my fingers as well, because I'm very, very sticky. Oh, crash. That's my Deflecto behind me. Now, while I've been doing that, that's all gone clear. Let's get rid of that piece of paper, because that's sticky now. And get another one. So you can just put your flitter glue on there, but what's quite nice is if you actually put, well, you've got a choice. You can just flitter glue. You can put your flakes on. You can just put your flakes on. You can just put your luscious powders on, because it will stick to your flitter glue, or you can put both on, and I quite like putting both on, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to actually use both. So let's go for, in fact, I'm going to go, shall I? No, let's go for the green apple, because you're going to be able to see it more. And do a little brush. And we're going to add this first. Just a little bit here and there. Okay, I think that'll do. Walk away from the luscious powder, Julia. Right. Don't ever wash these little brushes. I have got them on my website if you need any. Then we're going to add some of our flake. Don't breathe, don't sneeze, don't do anything. Don't have a sticky thumb, which I've got. Look at that big piece there. Amazing. You don't need that much, actually. Really sticking to my fingers. I've made a really good job of cleaning my hands. I think we might just start with, oh, that's another big piece. Let's have that big piece down the bottom and that piece down there. And I'll wear a lot of it on my fingers. Put the lid on, and then we'll move it around with the scoochie. This is where you find out where it is that you stamp, because you haven't got a clue otherwise. There it is. There you are. Don't worry about the powder, because we can get rid of the excess of that. Oh, I haven't stamped quite as much as I thought I had. I thought I'd gone up there. I haven't. It's magic. It's like that magic painting that you used to have when you were a kid. So the more you work at it, the more you get the fine detail of the stamp. And you might think, oh, next time I won't put so much of the luscious powder, because I want to see more of that. That's what you might think, or it might not think that. Get rid of that bit. Let's tidy up a bit, and then let's tidy that up. Move that out of the way. Don't sneeze, don't breathe. Let's clean this up, because otherwise it's going to go everywhere. The cat will be wearing it. I know I am. Let's put that scoochie up there so it's out of the way. Not scoochie, fat foam. So a bit of water will pick up your excess flake. help you tidy up. There we go. I'm wearing it all over my trousers. And let's get rid of this excess here. So just with that lovely brush, that lovely soft brush, get rid of the excess powder. See, I put far too much powder on. There we go. There's a background to start me off on another project. It's not actually, it's actually Kay who came up with the idea of mixing both of them on a project. But it's a really nice technique, and it's something a little bit different. So you can see with your Flitter Glue, you can use either your flake or your luscious or both. And you can also use your glitters on there as well, your fine glitters. So it's beautiful, isn't it? Hi, Kay. So that's an idea there for your background. My stamp is nicely soaking all that. So what I would do with my stamp is I'd go to my sink after we've finished and just take a soft nail brush and get the remainder of the glue off. So it's perfectly safe as it is, and we do this when we're on retreats and on the dirty weekends when it's actually a physical one, and we wash them off. I mean, you don't want to leave them for hours, but it's perfectly safe to wash them off after you finish your crafty session. So what else do I want to show you? Right, okay, so we're going to have a go at making a little Christmas card, an actual card. Look at my fingers. It's so funny. Right, that will come off when you wash your stamp, so don't worry about that. So I've taken a piece of the Pink Frog card, the smooth one, the super smooth, and I've scored down there half fold A5, and then I've cut it so that it's like a tent card, but I'm going to use it that way. So in my head I have an idea. So first of all, what we want to do is we're going to this one, and we're going to, on a separate piece of card, we're going to actually stamp the word happy. We can't stick your stamp on your card, it's me being nosy outside. You've got to stick it on a block first. Give me strength. What am I like? What was that through the door? I don't remember ordering anything. I should go and investigate afterwards. That'd be a nice surprise. So we're just going to stamp the word happy. And shall I emboss it? Let's emboss it so that when I go to put it out, I don't actually smudge it. That would be a good idea. Oh, I need some more paper now. Have I got any more? So this is from the Happy Holidays, and we're using the IndigoBlu clear embossing glaze, which is a super clear embossing powder. And I like the fact that it's in a really big tub and it's got a really big opening, so you can easily get it back. Little things, I really like that. Back in the tub so I don't forget it tomorrow. Let's just give that a blast. And again, I'm going to nick an idea from Kay as to what she did with this. I haven't got one of those super duper paint stripper things. I think I'd be scared to use the one that Kay uses. How often do I change my inks? Okay, it depends on the ink of the actual colour. My Nocturne Versifying Clair, I change it about every 2 months. The one that I was using up until last week was absolutely fine, but then I got some new stamps from Phil, and it just wasn't working, and so I changed my stamps, my ink, and it was fine. So yeah, about every 2 months. But you know, I do a lot of stamping, I did ask my supplier if they would stock the re-inker for the VersaFine Clair at Nocturne, because obviously that's the one we use the most. And they said yes, and they got them in, and they didn't tell me they got them in, and they sold them out before I realised. So I didn't get any. So I was a bit miffed about that. A lot miffed about that, actually. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to nick one of Kay's ideas. And we're going to go with our paint mat. I'm not sure if the paint mats are on the show, but they're normally around. And we're going to go for one of my translucent paints, which are my absolute favourites. I love the translucent paints. Which one's that one? In the navy. That sounds like a good one. So I guess OC, that's the one I want now. So these are on the show, of course. And we're just going to pop just a tiny, I don't need much, tiny bit on my craft sheet. Water. Let's have more water than that. Let's just spritz it. So making like a wash. That's probably far too wet now. And we're just going to go over our happy. So that's going to give a background to it. And you can see that because I've embossed it, it's resisting. Although because it's a translucent paint, it wouldn't really matter if it was just stamped. Because you'd see the detail below because it's translucent. So that's why I like them, because you can always see what you've got below. So if you want to use that on a background or something, then use it straight away, because once the acrylic paint has actually, the water's evaporated, the acrylic paint won't be able to be regenerated. It's not like a regular watercolour, although we just obviously use it like a watercolour. So let's let that dry and move on to this. So we're going to do just a really quick background, and we're going to use one of the older stamps. We're going to use this snowflake from the gingerbread nutcracker, and we're just going to make a background with it, and we're going to use a distress oxide, and let's use the new one. Let's use prize ribbon. Yes, yeah, the re-inkers on Amazon was something like £11 or something ridiculous. What type of stamp pads can you use in embossed medium? You can use Versamark, you can use the Wow embossing pad, and you can also use Perfect Medium. Those are the clear ones. But you can also stamp and emboss with Distress Oxide. That stays open for a long time. So if you want a colour, you can use your Distress Oxides. And then VersaFine Clair is an excellent detail ink for stamping and embossing if you want to put clear over it, or some of the sparkle embossing powders over it as well. But if you just want to do, you know, your gold and silver, copper, that sort of thing, then you want Versamark, the Wow embossing pad, or the Perfect Medium. Right, so we're going to use prize ribbon. And I should be all right just doing it like this. No, do it properly, Julia. Me and shortcuts. What am I like? Let's just put that over the fold so I don't go over the fold. And let's just do it the way you're not supposed to do it. Let's practice first. Smashing. That's perfect. And we're just doing some snowflakes. Some are better than others, as always with me. Random on the background. That'll do. Prize ribbon. In stock on my website now. And it's really nice. It's entirely different to Blueprint Sketch. I know when I saw it, I thought, oh, it's a bit like Blueprint Sketch, but it absolutely isn't. Because if you add water to this one, let's bring in my bit of paper again. So obviously we're going to clean our stamp now, a bit of water. So if you add water to this one, it stays blue. if you add water to Blueprint Sketch, it actually separates into a deep purple. So that's one of the differences between them. So they are different. It's not just Tim trying to make more money. You've got that one. Versafine Clay are extremely juicy when you get them. Yes, they are, Jean. The Versafine Clays have gone up in price. Phil actually noticed it and told me. So I'm not able to sell them at $4.99 anymore. I've had to put them up to $5.99 because they retail at, I think it's $6.55. So they have gone up quite a bit now. So the idea is that we're going to come in with one of our stencils. And I need to find the right one. Cherish. I want the one with the word Christmas on it. I know there is one. Christmas, there's Christmas wishes. Jingle bells, Christmas. I want the big Christmas. So we've got two. See, we've got Christmas wishes. I don't know if you can see. Let's put it on here. Oh, that's my background. Oh, that's a bit of paper. Right, Christmas wishes we've got there in this one. And Spirit of Christmas. So you can actually, if you want a smaller one, you can just kind of tape that off and mask that off and then just use it. But I want this big Christmas here. I want that one. It's got a little bit bent, probably because of the way I'm using it. So I hope that comes out properly. We'll soon see, won't we? I think like a Facebook Live to actually try things out, really, is there? So if I've just not put my fingers in that, because they do stay wet for a while. And I want to put Christmas down here, like that. So I've got a bit of Flitter Glue on my mat as well. Oh, don't you just love it? Okay. Right, so let's take this down. So we want to mask off that top area because I know what I'm like. I'm really quite messy. And I'm going to put one down here as well. So that secures that. And we're going to do a bit of slap it on. Let's see if I've made myself enough room. Let's save, Julia. What's that one doing there? There it is. Right, so slap it on. What do I do with that? There it is. Right. And we're going to colour it. Of course we are. We can colour it with paint or we can colour it with Luscious. So we're going to colour it with Luscious. So this is your Sparkling Waterfall, which is a yummy, yummy colour. And we've not got a very big area here, so we really don't need to have much of the Slap It On. So let's hope that I actually don't use much of the Slap It On, because I'm not very good at not using much of the Slap It On. I end up getting all my stencils out and making loads of backgrounds because I've mixed too much and I don't want to throw it away. Right. Yeah, it is. They are, you know, you get what you pay for, don't you? I mean, Tsuka and Eco are probably the world leader in ink pads. Obviously Ranger as well, but I probably don't need any more than that. Oh, I'll just have a little bit more. Take it away, Julia. Yeah, Ranger are very good, obviously, with their ink pads, and I think those are probably the two best companies to use. Now we need a little bit of Luscious. Now where's my little doobly? Let's use it. Obviously, the more Luscious you need, you've got choices. You can use, like I say, you can use your paint. Either the translucent or the metallic or the matte, it doesn't really matter. Remember, Slap It On looks white, but it actually is going to dry clear. So if you want to see this on here, you've got to have something that probably has got colour in it, unless you're going to do resist techniques. This is going to give it a shimmer as well because of the mica that's in it. A powder will not change the fluidity of the Slap It On. Well, it depends on how much powder you put in, of course. The paint, if it's really wet, is going to change it, so you have to be careful how much you put in. Obviously, because the IndigoBlu paints are so pigmented, it's not going to make that much difference if you just put them in the raw. Do be careful how you mix your luscious in, because it could go all over the place. And you do want to make sure that you actually do mix it in really, really well, because we've obviously got grains of powder there. Let's hope I don't actually get it on the top of my card as well, else that'll be a totally different technique. So giving it a good old mix. And remember, like I say, it's going to dry clear, so it's not going to look as kind of, I don't know, pale as this. It's going to be more vibrant because it's going to dry clear. And I've probably got far too much. Let's see how we get on with this now. Christmas. You will find as well, if you wanted to just put it on in the raw, so just the clear matte, clear, slap it on, that it will draw up some of the colour of the oxide from underneath. See, I told you I did too much. What am I going to do with that now? Right, I'm going to have to do something with it. So, let's see, what have we got here? Got another piece of card. I'm going to have to go over here. Let's have a snowflake. I know you probably can't see this. I'll show you in a minute. A snowflake. It's going to go down there in a minute. I've got to tidy up a little bit, otherwise I'm going to get in a bit of a mess. Let's put that there a sec, and I've got to get this off my card because otherwise it's going to stick. I'll tidy up that properly in a minute. Right, so there's my snowflake. Probably put it down the wrong area, but message down there maybe. Put that over there to dry. Let's take this off here. I'm sure I'm being more cack-handed than I am normally. Probably because I'm working in such a small space. That is normal though. I don't believe in working in a big desk. I wish. Oh, get off me. Stuck to me. That's it. That is coming up here. Okay, so there's our Christmas. Looking good. I think it looks good anyway. So if you wanted that to show up a bit more, then just mask that off and just stamp in the top area and not in the bottom. See, I'm making this up as I go along. I've got to blast this with a little bit of water first, because I haven't got a bowl of water. I've got to blast this one as well, just so I don't get in a massive mess. Normally in the sink, and you're absolutely fine with that. That's cleaning off for now. And of course you could, as you're cleaning it, you could actually push it through onto another piece of card, and just like Leonie does. So you can do that too. Good old mats. Right, where are we at? Right, so the other thing we want to do is, I'll probably use the wrong colour, but it doesn't really matter, is we're going to take this, which is our happy. Remember, this is wet. Now this will take, depends on the weather conditions, but they have been taking about an hour to dry, so not that long. Sometimes in the winter it's actually just as quick because you've got your radiators on. So we're just cutting out our happy. And we could pop that maybe there or there. I don't know. Let's fold that up. Is that all right for a simple Christmas card, do you think? The idea is there, isn't it? It probably hasn't worked out as well as I wanted it to, but that's me winging it. Let's just glue that down. I like it there, I think. I should be using K's glue, shouldn't I? Why aren't I using K's glue? How rude! rude. Oh, Julie, did you just hear me say? I don't know if you did. It depends on how the conditions, and it also depends on how wide this area, you know, the actual width, the width of the design. So like the snowflake, that one has got probably big, I don't know if it's got bigger areas. I think they'll probably take about an hour at the moment to dry. So this is the grab and go. Don't need much. Is it coming out? Have I got to take a thingy off? Hang on, let me look. No, it's there, isn't it? Oh no, I've got to take the bung out. It's not going to come out if you don't take the bung out, Julia. There we go. Bung's gone. You can tell I've not had this glue before. I'm quite pleased that I've got it now though. Oh, that's far too much. Clean. I've got to clean my nipple. There we go. Which sounds really rude, doesn't it? Let's use my finger to move that around. Oh, I can tell it's quite thick. I can tell it's good stuff. Right, I don't want to smudge my Christmas, so my happy's just going to go there. That's taken straight away. That's pretty good. Yeah, the airing cupboard will work depending on how full your airing cupboard is. Right, so that's that. Is there anything else I was going to do? Oh yes, one more thing I was going to do before we finish. 4 minutes. That's not too bad, is it? Mustn't get that mixed up with my flitter glue. I can see it's in the same container as my flitter glue. I can see that happening, can you? Right, so that's going to go up there to dry. One more thing that we can do with the slap it on is, and it's quite a nice thing to do. Well, there's a couple of things that you can do actually. We can take, again, the card. And again, I'm using the super smooth, but you could go to, oh, let's go on to watercolor actually. This is the Pink Frog watercolor, so it's got texture to it, so it's not like the Sentiment to Yours super smooth, but that's fine. So let's do, oh, this one's a beautiful stencil. Let's do this stencil. Again, let's slap it on. One of these. Got millions of these from when I did workshops. So we'll just put it in the middle there, and I will tape it so it doesn't go anywhere. And this is the one that took about an hour the other day. So you've got a few choices with how you actually do this. You can actually mix colour with it and unicorn sparkles, or what I quite like to do is actually just mix unicorn sparkles with it, and then when it's dry then I can add colour over the top. So you can add your paints over the top, you can add your luscious over the top, which is quite a nice thing to do, and I will show you one that is actually dry if I can find it. Right, so unicorn sparkles. So unicorn sparkles are ultrafine iridescent glitter, which is in my little tub here somewhere. That's not one, is it? That's in bottom base. Oh, there it is. I've got them out already. Oh, for heaven's sake, Julia. Now you need to remember, because this dries clear, that you want to have a good amount of unicorn sparkles, because otherwise you're just going to get clear and you're going to get no glitter. So I'm going to give it a really good mix. And at this point, this is where you can add your paint as well, and you can add your luscious, just like we did before. You can also just pop your slap it on through your stencil, and then remove your stencil, and then add your glitter so that the glitter sticks to the wet slap it on. But I think I prefer to do it this way. It's not as glittery, but the glitter doesn't go anywhere. Whereas if you do it the other way, where you apply it second, then sometimes the glitter can come off a little bit. So I have got in there unicorn sparkles. So we're going to slap this. This is why it's called slap it on. So we're just going to slap it over our snowflake, which is a beautiful stencil. Am I in frame? Not quite. Let's move over a bit. See, I've mixed too much again. Every single time. I tell you what comes in handy, and I'll show you when I get round to it, is there's a stencil that's like snow, and because it's only got small holes, it doesn't use that much, so it's a great one for using up your extras. Let's get rid of this. You can also, with the slap it on, you can actually add embossing powder to it, and then heat set it, and it'll bubble up and do all sorts of magical and wonderful things. So there's our stencil with the slap it on. I know you can just about see the unicorn sparkles. Yes, of course you can. Absolutely, you can use the slap it on with your metal stencils. Absolutely. So remember, when it dries, that's going to be clear. So let me just use up, let's just spritz this first so it doesn't ruin my stencil. Look at me, I'm getting a bit like Phil, aren't I? Making sure everything's clean. I'm not as good, I don't clean as much as he does, as you know. But I don't want to, I hate it when stencils are ruined. I can't be doing with it. Right, okay, so that's that. I'm going to use that other bit. So the other stencil that's really good that I've just mentioned to you is, oh, there's two actually. There's the stars, that one. Just do that one. There's also this one, which is your snow. That's a really good one to do. So let's use up that bit of the stars, because that won't. I mean, even if you're just doing a border, so if you're sensible how you start it. See, I'm not taping this one down. So that can be a border now, even if I can't get over the whole thing. So work over from one side to the other rather than starting in the middle. Unless, of course, you wanted to do a middle design. So this would be great. You know the Sentiment of Yours Charming Stars? This stencil would be absolutely fantastic with that. Did I say stencil? I meant die. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth at the moment. Oh, look, I'm nearly getting the whole thing. Who'd have thought? See, slap it on goes such a long way. It is a really good texture paste. And it's also, you can also use it as a 3D medium as well, so you can glue down your project. So if you're gluing some embellishments, metal embellishments, or some MDF, you can use your slap it on as well. It's a super product. I have been using it for a couple of years now, and I really like it. So let's go in there. So here's our stars. Oop. Don't worry about the edges because I trimmed that down. So I've got another background out of that. I need to not put it on my background that I've got drying there. Let's put it there. Got stuff everywhere. Right, let's just clear up, and then I'll show you one that is dry, that I've actually put Luscious over the top, which is really nice. Let's just tidy up a bit. I'll wash those properly. You can see all the glitter. There's so much glitter. I like putting more. I'm a more rather than a less girl with my glitter. I like to put loads on. Actually, loads in my paste. I don't like loads of glitter all over the place. But that needs a wash now. Let's use this. It is, as you can see, it's quite easy to clean up. Not to knock that in the bin. I am covered in it, so I'm trying to be quick. Do you know, I've just thought, Oh, if I put that there, I'm going to knock my mic, but I haven't got a mic because I'm not on telly. I'm on Facebook Live. There's no, you know, I'm doomed, aren't I? Over the next few weeks, I'm doomed. Absolutely doomed. Right. Clean that up. Let's find that one I was going to show you, and then we'll finish off. Let's have a look. This one. So what I did was I took an A6 blank. Alright, so this is a piece of A5 card folded in half, and I've just used that lovely snowflake stencil, so it doesn't fit all over because it's an A6 piece, but you can see now that's dry. Can you see that the lovely unicorn, that's clear, so it's this has become that, and you've got all that iridescence from the glitter coming through. Absolutely beautiful. So then I've taken my this one, the Sparkling Waterfall Luscious, and made it into a paint, and I popped it over the top on my card blank. So you can see that it's kind of resisted a little bit, but you've got that lovely glitter coming through, but you've got a shimmer coming I know you can't pick it up very well on the camera, but you've got a shimmer coming through from the Luscious. So that's my card blank that I'm going to use in one of my demos on tomorrow, in theory. So I hope you've enjoyed that. We've done quite a bit. It's all over the place. I don't know where it all is, but I'll take some photographs afterwards, and so you can have a good old look. So the shows tomorrow are at 9 AM and 2 PM on the craft store. I don't have the new stamps on my website, but obviously you can buy them from the craft store or from the IndigoBlu website. I do have luscious powders, paints, slap it on, I think, Flitter Glue. I have quite a few IndigoBlu products on my website, so you can find them in the brand section. You can just pull up IndigoBlu and have a look. Okay, so I'll see you on the telly box tomorrow at 9 and 2. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you've learned something. Thanks. Bye.